Welcome to an essential oil class with yoga today, where we will be working on cultivating compassion for our body, with the idea that if we have compassion for ourselves, we can more easily share compassion with other people. We'll be using essential oils along with our yoga practice today to help us find a deeper connection. The essential oils benefit us physically, as we put them on our body, and emotionally as we breathe them in and change the air. So let's do some initial setup right here. First, we're going to take Holiday Joy Blend. This is a doTERRA blend. If you have cinnamon or cardamom, something like that, something that smells like the holidays, you can use it. And we're just going to put it on a couple drops on the top of our mat. This will just help us to breathe it in. It smells really good. This will help us to kind of cleanse our mind a little bit. We've been doing whatever we've been doing all day, and we need a change. We need something to help us change our emotions, our thoughts. And every time we chaturanga, we're going to smell that good scent. So this can help to comfort us and soothe our emotional well-being. Next, take some peppermint oil, or any kind of mint is good. We're going to put some on our stomach. So a couple drops in your hand. Again, breathe it in if you want, and put a couple drops on your stomach. This helps with detoxifying and digestion. So anytime we do a forward bend in yoga or a twist, we're going to have that added sensation, the tingliness of the mint, and it will help us to detoxify and uplift our mood. Careful not to touch your eyes. I'm rubbing my hands in to make sure that it's all rubbed in to my hands so I don't touch my eyes. Okay, let's get started on our mats in a child's pose. So if you take your knees a little wider than your hips, sit down onto the heels and reach forward. Here's our basic child's pose. Ways to modify this pose might be to take our forehead to a block that just lines up the head with the rest of the spine. Might be a little more gentler depending on how you're feeling today. Some of us might not have our heels all the way down, our hips all the way down on our heels. We might be more lifted, something like this, and that is fine. It's all good. Just take a moment to be here and start to connect to your breath. In yoga, we use Ujjayi breath, where we breathe in and out just through our nose. Slow and steady, calming breath. Already breathing in some of the oils that we've chosen to use to affect our airways, to affect our mood, and to turn us a little closer to some compassion for ourselves today. Good. Now let's lift up onto all fours and take our feet to the floor, press up to Adho Mukha Svanasana. So you can press your heels down to the floor. You can pedal your feet if you'd like, moving through the ankles and the calves, loosening up the hips, the heels, the Achilles tendons. Then walk your way up to your hands. And let's just fold ourselves forward. Relax your neck, your jaw. Everything feels heavy. And roll up through our spine, one vertebrae at a time. As we come up to the top, Our shoulder blades roll back. And we're ready to begin our Surya Namaskara A to warm up our entire body with moving breath and body together. Here we go. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step back or hop back to a plank. You can drop to your knees here if you want. Chaturanga. Inhale, breathe in, beautiful scent placed on your mat. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Feel lengthened, lifted, pressing up and back through the hips. Good. Now bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step up to the hands. Exhale, fold into your legs. Relax the chin, the jaw, the neck, all of it there. Inhale, reverse swan dive, reach up to the sky. Exhale, Samastiti. Reset. Let's take it again one more time for now at least. Inhale, lift. Exhale, float forward. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step or hop back, drop to your knees if you want, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Reset. Tuck your chin, make sure you're feeling the release in the back of the neck. Take a breath, inhale. Exhale, bend your knees down, just connect to the mat. Swing your legs around for a moment to take your frankincense oil before we move on. Let's put our frankincense oil, oops, I grabbed the wrong one. Frankincense oil onto our feet. So a couple drops in the hand, place it on your feet. Our feet work hard for us. We don't do a lot, enough probably, to care for our feet. So this can help us with centering and focus as we get grounded by placing the oil along the feet. It can help us to create new perspectives. Sometimes when we pay attention to being grounded, we have clearer thought. And we want to find, again, those areas in our body that need a little attention, a little bit of compassion today. Now let's scoot our feet nice and close. Sit tall, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Reach your torso forward and let your head drop down. I'm gonna close up my oil before I hit it. Curving your spine, perhaps just a little bit at the upper back, but trying to feel nice and long through your low back. Beautiful, nice breathing. Inhale, lift up. It's just priming up our hips. Exhale, bring your legs around to all fours, and let's take our right foot forward. Now, if you're utilizing blocks today, you might find it helpful to place the hands on your blocks right around your foot. If you don't need the blocks, certainly just set them off to the side. For a moment, we're just going to press down. Look down, make sure the knee stacks on top of your ankle so that you're not putting too much pressure on that knee. And just press down into the hips. We feel length through the hip flexor. We feel squeeze, we feel sensation into the outer right hip there. A little bit of warmth. Now let's stretch through our hamstring, a very tight area in our body at times. Come up onto your left foot and walk it forward. If you're utilizing blocks, again, hands can come to the blocks as we straighten the right knee. Fold yourself forward. If you don't need the blocks, don't use them. If you need them, use them. The straighter we can get the right knee, the more we're going to feel that hamstring and the knee right underneath the right leg there. Relax, fold over the top, lengthening your spine. Here's where that peppermint oil is coming into use as we fold forward. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Bend your right knee. Bring your arms up. And come into Warrior One. Virabhadrasana A. Shoulders pull down. Length through the torso. Strong and stable in both feet. Inhale. Exhale, open up to Virabhadrasana B, Warrior Two. See how I'm widening out my feet just a little bit? That's to make sure that this knee just doesn't press over the toe. So we've got that knee strong and supported there. Parsvakonasana, drop your right forearm to your thigh or take your hand to the floor. You can also place it on your block and pull that left arm overhead. We can feel that right hip, deep pressure into the right hip. We're just getting deeper and deeper. Hips are an area to take care of in our body. They hold a lot of emotional strain. So we want to be mindful always of our hips. Take a breath, inhale. Exhale, windmill your hand down to the mat. Step your right foot back. If you want to, you can hover your foot or you can place it down. Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Press your heels down to the floor. Tuck your chin, lengthen the back of the neck. Good. Now drop your knees and let's bring the left leg forward. I'm going to change sides so that I can continue facing you. We'll have our left foot forward and the right knee, walk it back as far as you can. Options to either have your hands on blocks or directly on the floor. Whatever you can do, make sure you've got this knee alignment. Do not push your knee over your toe. It's just too much pressure. And we're learning how to be kind to our body. We're learning how to press in to those hips, lengthen those hips out, and feel like we're taking care of ourselves today. Very important, isn't it? Good. Now start to lift up onto that right foot. Walk it forward and place the heel down, coming into pyramid pose so that your left knee is straight. Blocks are fine. They have different heights. May make the pose more possible, right? It doesn't matter what the pose looks like. It matters what it feels like. Ask yourself, can you feel this hamstring here? Can you feel it? Then you're doing it right. Good. Now let's bend our left knee, bring our arms up, and we're in Warrior One, Virabhadrasana A. Open through the front of the body. Shoulders relax as they pull down. Strong and stable through both feet. Open up to Virabhadrasana B. Good. Changing our positions a little bit, rotating open through the hips so that we can get deeper into this left hip. Drop your left forearm to the mat, to the thigh, or your hand to the mat or a block, and pull that right arm overhead. Feel that strong reach. We press into the hip, put a little pressure there in a good way. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Windmill your hands down. Step this left foot back. You can hover it if you want. Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good. Bend your knees. Inhale, look forward. Step or hop up to the hands. Exhale, fold down into your legs. Inhale, reverse swan dive, reach up to the sky. Exhale, Samastiti, arms by your sides. Very nice. Let's take our next oil. I have Siberian fir, so whatever you have that might be woodsy, earthy, pine perhaps. And you're going to place it on your throat, your neck. I'm gonna rub a little more into my hands here. Ooh, that was kind of a lot. I'm gonna smell like some good fur. I didn't have very much and then it came out a lot. Into your neck, throat, chest, like the front of your chest. All of this area here to help you breathe. This is going to be beneficial for maybe reducing aches from colds and flus that can be affected right in the lymph node area through your throat. Also, since it's earthy and pine, creates a feeling of grounding, being stable, being strong and stable. With that, let's practice Vrksasana, tree pose. Shift your weight to your right and take your left foot up your leg. A way to build your balance is to place your toes on the floor first. And maybe you just start here. If you feel comfortable lifting up further, perhaps not even that far, maybe just here, then do it, yes? You can also be holding onto a wall. Feel free to move yourself around in your space. And let's feel like we're lifted through this right side of the body. Grounded, we've got our oil, we're grounded and stable in that foot, but the energy lifts up. You can keep your hands here, or you can reach your arms up to the sky. Balancing can be hard, but it is caring for our body because if we have better balance, it affects our gait, affects how we walk and stand, is good for our health. Take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands through heart center and place that foot down. Shift your weight to your left. Remember our options. Toes can be on the floor. You can hold a wall. You can lift up just a little or higher. Try to do the same thing that you did on that previous side. Grounded to the floor, lifted through the energy. And perhaps we lift our arms as well. Keep your focus on your breath. Good. Inhale. Exhale, pull your hands to heart center and gently place that foot down. Nicely done. Let's take Surya Namaskara A in case we forgot how to breathe. It will remind us to do so here. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward down as deep as we can. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step or hop back to a plank. You can drop to your knees if you want. Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Relax, heels down, hips high. Breathe. Bend your knees and take your right foot forward and parallel toward the top of the mat. So as we walk our left leg back, we're feeling pigeon pose. Now you see I'm hovering a little bit. If you are doing the same, can't reach it, you can have your block underneath that right hip for a little bit of balance, stability, if you need that, or a blanket would work as well. Though sometimes as we start to bring our body forward, our hip gets lower, which is what's going to happen with mine. So come forward maybe onto your forearms. Perhaps you extend your arms forward. I'm going to choose to place my forehead on a block today. And we're just going to breathe and sit into our hip. It's not always easy to be in a hip pose, especially one this deep. Our hips like to fight us a little bit. But let's try to keep it calm. Keep focused. Is it opening up a little bit? I hope so. Helping me take one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift up. If you have a block underneath your hip, remove it and sit yourself down onto your right hip so that your right leg is on the bottom and your left leg pulls up over the top. Right leg bottom, left leg top. Inhale, extend your right arm. Exhale, hook it onto your knee, or you can hug your knee, that's fine too. Take the left hand to the floor, sit nice and tall. Draw that left shoulder back, as well as your gaze. This is a beautiful twist. We're gonna feel that peppermint in action on our stomach. And we're rotating through the low back, the upper back, the chest. Really great for digestion. Good. Now come forward. A couple of options for this next one. Start by trying to line your feet and your ankles on top of each other. So right is on the bottom, left is on the top. If that's too intense for your body, sit crisscross with the left leg in front. Either choice is just fine. Then let's lean forward. I'm going to place my hands on my legs. This pose is actually really challenging for me. Some of you might be able to reach forward and feel, mostly you'll probably feel that left hip. There's some in the right too, but ooh, that left hip is on top. And we can feel it. Relax your head and neck. And just breathe into that hip. Good. This is priming up our hip for that pigeon pose, which is to come. Nicely done. Release it. And let's go back to our right leg. Grab it in a baby cradle. So a couple of options. You can wrap your foot in your elbows and hold it here, or it might be easier to come from underneath and hold it. Either way, see if you can kind of rock it just a little bit. Relax that hip socket area. Good. Rock it out. Very nice. Put it down. Good for you. And let's grab our Melaleuca oil or the tea tree oil. Maybe lavender is another option that I gave you. And we're going to place some along our spine. So I'm just going to put a couple drops into my fingertips and put it on the low back on the spine. This can help relieve cramping in the body. It'll help us release up through the spine. The nervous system runs down the spine, all of our nerve endings and things. So maybe we're holding on to tension there and the nerves are just not firing like they should. Let's release something. Let's forgive something. Melaleuca is a cleanser, trying to let go in our emotional body, perhaps. All right, now we'll move to the left side. So we've got blocks handy if we need them. Take your left leg parallel to the top of your mat and walk that right leg back. Place a block underneath your left hip if you want. I'm going to take my block forward and place my forehead on my block. All of us should try to relax. You might notice that your hip resists at first. Just be here and breathe with it. Tell it, it's okay, you're going to relax and it's going to be okay. A little bit of convincing, perhaps. Slow breaths help, right? That's what we're working towards. Slow, steady breaths. Good. Now gently lift your way up and swing your legs around so that you have your left leg on the bottom and the right leg coming up over the top, Ardha Matsyendrasana. Extend your, left arm, hook it onto your leg, or just hug your leg. Right hand to the floor, press against and feel the spiral. Nice and tall, spiraling in your back, sending your gaze back to that shoulder. Come forward, nicely done. Let's lay the feet on top of each other, option A. So we've got our left leg on the bottom, the right leg on the top, or if that's too much, the right leg comes in front to sit crisscross. Either way is fine. Sit tall, inhale, exhale, walk your way forward. Just maybe pressing or gently walking. Pay attention to that right hip. Don't go too far too fast. Have compassion for your body. Remember, our goal today was to have compassion for ourselves so that we can turn around and have compassion for someone else. Take one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, walk it up. Very nice. Let's go back to our left leg and do that baby cradle. So we're wrapping around, or remember, you can come from underneath. Both are fine. And just start to move. Shift it out, shake it out, loosen it up. Getting rid of tension there. Good. Place it down, and for our last pose, we'll take our legs nice and wide. Last pose in this stretch sequence, I mean. So this is Upavista Konasana. Not everyone can go the same width. It doesn't matter. What matters is what you feel. Feel here, inner thigh, groin. Try to keep your toes pointed to the sky. A block can be helpful here. You can take it forward for something to reach for so that you can get a little resistance. I like to maybe lay down toward it. If you're bendy enough, you might be able to place your forehead on it. Don't feel like that's something you have to reach for. Remember, the blocks have multiple heights. So just keep lifting it up, and maybe you'll achieve the benefit that you want. What's nice about resting our head on a block is that it kind of allows our body something to lay on so that our legs can relax. Just be mindful that you keep your toes pointed to the sky and let yourself relax. The simple fact that we're using our body weight to press, that's all we need to do. Everything else can just let go. Everything else can calm down. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Gently press up. Oh, I think that feels so good. It hurts so good, I guess. Take your legs, your block off to the side, and let's bend our knees softly, carefully, because we had a nice wide position. And grab your last oil before we lay down. I almost forgot. This is wild orange. Any kind of citrus would be great. You can put it right in between your eyes, your third eye, and then just across your forehead, the brow swipe from temple to temple. Citrus is, maybe back of the neck too. Citrus supports healthy digestion, so physically. It's another really great one to drink. Peppermint is good to drink. Citrus is good to drink. In water, of course. And it's going to leave us with a positive mood as we move into our Shavasana. We want to feel uplifted and positive. So lay yourself down. First, though, let's take Supta Baddha Konasana. This is where our feet are together and our knees are open to the side. And we lay on our back. And for a moment, place your right hand on your heart and your left hand on your stomach. Just feel yourself breathing. Feel that lifting of the chest, the rise and the fall. Close your eyes for a moment. And think about something that you love about yourself. It's an emotional quality. It's one of your characteristics. Maybe it's something physical as we just came out of yoga. Something that you love about yourself. Embrace that feeling. Now think of something that you're going to pledge to have a little more compassion for. For me, it's my right ankle. It's an old injury. Sometimes I get impatient with my leg. Let's have a little more compassion for that part of us, whatever it is. Now, with those feelings of compassion toward yourself, the goal is to then turn around and have compassion for someone else. I'll leave you to think of that in your Shavasana. If you want to stay in this position, that is fine. I would just move my arms by my side so it's a little more relaxed that way. If you feel better lengthening out your legs. For a more traditional Shavasana, of course, please do that. You can always prop your knees with blocks or a blanket or a pillow. That can help ease the back and have a little compassion for your back. So get comfortable, whatever it is. I will leave you here to rest for a few moments, but I will wake you up with the sound of a bell. So please just let your thoughts and emotions float around you for a few moments. Start to wake yourself up. Rotate through your legs, your fingers, toes, ankles, and stretch your arms overhead to lengthen through your entire body. Roll over onto one side in fetal pose. And gently press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to heart center. And I'll leave you with this quote by Rabbi Hillel. You have a solemn obligation to take care of yourself because you never know when the world will have need of you. Thank you for your practice today. Namaste.